Matthew 22, verses 23 through 30. The same day, Sadducees came to him who say that there is no resurrection, and they asked him a question, saying, Teacher, Moses said, if a man dies having no children, his brother must marry the widow and raise up offspring for his brother. Now there were 7 brothers among us. The first married and died, and having no offspring left his wife to his brother. So too the second and third, down to the 7th. After them all, the woman died. In the resurrection, therefore, of the 7, whose wife will she be? For they all had her. But Jesus answered them, You are wrong, because you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. The Sadducees, who were a group of people who effectively rejected life after death, were trying to trap Jesus with what they perceived was a difficult question in order to humiliate him in public. And so they referred back to an old covenant responsibility placed on a man to marry his deceased brother's wife and have children with her. But the answer that Jesus gives to this question is one that has led to much debate between Mormons and Christians, and for good reason. Verse 29 through 30, Jesus answers them, You are wrong, because you know neither the Scriptures nor the power of God. For in the resurrection they neither marry nor are given in marriage, but are like angels in heaven. For Christians, this passage is quite simple. This is where Jesus is teaching his disciples that there will not be marriage in heaven. But the LDS Church teaches that marriage will continue into heaven for those who have had their marriages sealed in LDS temples while here on earth, or have had their marriages sealed for them by proxy in temples here. So the question is, can this passage square with the Mormon view that marriages can continue into heaven? And I think the answer is no, for at least 3 reasons. Reason number 1 has to do with the challenging nature of this question. The whole point that the Sadducees made here was an attempt to humiliate Jesus by proposing a very difficult question that would have a difficult answer in order to cause Jesus to stumble. But if the Mormon view that marriage continues into heaven was true, then this would not have been a difficult question, and it would certainly not have had a difficult answer. The Mormon answer to the question proposed in verse 28, whose wife will she be, would simply be the wife of whomever she was sealed to in a temple on earth. But Jesus does not grant that kind of qualification, thereby taking the Mormon view off the table. Reason number 2, if we were to scour the Bible, Old Testament and New, from beginning to end, to search for any place where we could find teaching on marriage and heaven, or what happens to our marriages in the afterlife, in the resurrection, we would find nowhere throughout Holy Scripture this idea being referred to, except for this one place where Jesus deals with it plainly. And the point is, there would be no more opportune moment for Jesus to clarify such a critical doctrine, if the Mormon teaching was true, than right here in response to this question. But not only does Jesus not promote the LDS view on celestial marriage, but he actually robs the Mormon from any possible grounds upon which to affirm it. The third reason, I think, is the clearest. It has to do with the question being proposed. The question has nothing to do with weddings, getting married, sealings. It has everything to do with marriage as an institution. The question proposed is, in the resurrection, therefore, of the 7, whose wife will she be? And the answer that Jesus gives is no one's wife, because she will be like the angels in heaven who don't have wives, don't have husbands, they're not married. So for these reasons, I think that an honest reading of this text and Jesus' response to the question would lead us to see that there really is no way to fit the Mormon view of celestial marriage into Matthew 22.